we have our locks and upsets coming up. Brock, you had a little bit of a struggle last week.
A little bit.
Still on the positive for the season, though. So, you got to stay positive, keep that positive mindset. I went 3-0 for the week after struggling the week before, so I made my bounce back this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling it. It's time for you. My first lock of the week, the Arizona Cardinals beat the Miami Dolphins. That Cardinals defense has been playing pretty well. They've been playing aggressive. I think they're going to bait Tua into a couple of bad throws, and I think they get at least 2 turnovers. So Cardinals over the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Tua had a pretty good first game. Nothing crazy. I mean, his defense, special teams really helped him out. But I think Tua's going in the right direction with that team. To beat the Rams, it's a good game, Yep. But my first lock, I'm going Texas over the Texans over the Jaguars. Jaguars, Minshew Mania is out. So who's starting for him, Matt?
Jake Luton.
Right.
Oregon State. I believe he was a 6th round pick.
So yeah, maybe not a lot of playing time or like reps with the first team, so maybe there's a little disconnect there. But I think the Texans, they still have their weapons. That offense has the weapons. I just don't know what's going on with them. I think they pull out a win this week.
We'll see if the Jake Luton, whatever it's called, era lasts longer than the Ben DiNucci era in Dallas. Speaking of Dallas, they will get absolutely obliterated by the Steelers. The Steelers stay undefeated. I think Dallas has a chance, but Zeke has to have like 210 total yards and a couple of touchdowns. There's no way Dallas even stands a chance if Zeke doesn't go Zeke from 3 years ago.
Yeah, that Cowboys team is pretty bad. Pretty bad. My second lock of the week, also going Cardinals over the Dolphins, like you said. Tua might be baited into a couple bad throws. That defense is playing pretty well. Kyler's playing very well with that offense. Him and D-Hop, even Fitz, having a good season again. Running game has been pretty strong. Cardinals look pretty good this year. Not gonna lie, they had that overtime win against Seattle. Really, really showed what they're capable of. So it's good to see Fitz actually being on a good team.
Yeah. My upset of the week, the Detroit Lions over Minnesota. No Kenny Golladay, more than likely. I think he's out for a few weeks for the Lions. I think DeAndre Swift has a good game. I think Marvin Jones Jr. has a good game. And I got the Lions keeping their head in the NFC playoff picture race somehow. Who would have thought? But they beat the Vikings.
Well, it helps that the NFC East has really terrible teams, that they're not going to get that bonus spot. So we'll see. We'll see. We might have 3 from the NFC North, but also the NFC South and West. South and West. You got some good teams in the NFC. But my third and my upset pick of the week, I'm going Broncos over the Falcons. I don't know how the Falcons are favorited.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's an upset in the books. So, Broncos coming off a very impressive come from behind win.
Showed some fighting late in that game.
They did. So, and Falcons can't really stop nobody still. So, I'm picking the Broncos this week.
Okay, all right.
Shout out to the old Dylan Hussam.
Yeah, maybe we can get one of those. Well, maybe we can get one of those pictures of him as our.
That one? You want that one?
Yeah, we'll use that as the what do they call it, the intro picture you see on like Facebook when you are going to click on it.
Oh no, probably. we want people to watch the video.
That's true. All right, moving on. We got our fantasy 6-pack for you guys. Last week, we did pretty good last week. We had some hits, we had some misses.
Well,
Devontae Adams, Tyler Boyd, Derrick Henry all smashed. Who would have thought with the Chiefs scoring, what they score 40 again, 35?
I think it was 38.
38. That Clyde
30.
Edwards-Helaire would have had just a nothing
They
game.
didn't run the ball. They really didn't. I think he had 6 or 7 total carries, and Patty Mahomes had 5 touchdowns. So it's one of those games where it's like they went for the MVP for Patty Mahomes there, where they could have easily just ran it down their throat, but he passed for 42 times, and Edwards-Helaire had 6 carries. So
I'd like to throw out, since we forgot to mention this at the beginning of the segment, I'm not one of those douchey guys who wear sunglasses at night or in the house. These are prescription. I cannot see without them. Some people might be thinking, why do you need to see during a podcast? Well, I like to see when I'm doing things. So,
my face.
Whatever. Fantasy six-pack. My number 1, Pittsburgh Steelers running back James Conner. I think that they can run the ball 25 times and not have to pass too much. Cowboys defense, not great. Cowboys offense, not great. Maybe something happens with the defense that allows them to just salt the game away. But my number 1, James Conner.
Yeah, I mean, that Cowboys team is, I said it earlier, is pretty bad. My number 1, I'm going Adam Thielen versus Detroit. Usually off of a low pass game. The Vikings like to pass it a lot. They had 18 pass attempts, I believe, versus the Packers. Granted, the wind played a big factor.
And this game will be indoors as well. Yeah,
indoors against Detroit defense, who has been pretty bad this season as well. I expect Thielen to have like a good 7 for 100 and a touchdown at least. Who knows who's going to attempt to guard him? He's one of the best route runners in the game. Yep. We know that. So I think Thielen's bound for a big game this week.
My number 2 used to be Adam Thielen's teammate, Stefon Diggs, is who I'm going with. Him and Josh Allen have a connection. They've been great together outside of, I believe it was one game where it was kind of just...
He just had catches, that's it.
Yeah, just not pretty for them. Stefon Diggs is my number 2 going up against the Seattle defense. They give up yards. They give up yards. They give up yards. Nick Mullins, passed pretty well all over him last week. So Stefon Diggs, big game this week.
Yeah, I'm going same game. Different position. Running back, Zach Moss. They kind of split the carries last week, but him and Devin Singletary exactly had 14 carries. Zach Moss had the touchdowns. I think that could easily be another repeat performance. Like you said, Seahawks haven't been able really to stop many people on the ground or pass. I still believe the Seahawks will probably win that game, but I could see a good chunk plays and a touchdown out of Zach Moss this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's outside of Josh Allen, he's their goal line kind of guy as well. So, my number 3, change of heart. I had Marvin Jones Jr. Just getting it out there. But I switched it up. I don't know if you've seen Will Fuller's GIF tweet earlier, just the impatient little kid like tapping. Will Fuller goes absolutely berserk and makes the Packers regret not trading for him.
I like that pick. I could see that. Not worth him saying I'm not worth a second round pick. I could see that. My final pick. Haven't done this one yet. Haven't done this kind of pick yet, so it's kind of surprising. I'm going the Pittsburgh Steelers defense special teams. I mean, they've already proven that they can force turnovers. They score off turnovers. They want punt block. kick blocks, sacks. That defense is legit. I mean, they pretty much contained Lamar Jackson very well. A couple picks. Alex Highsmith, UNC Charlotte's own, with his first career interception of Lamar Jackson.
Shout out.
That's a pretty big accomplishment for your first ever interception, especially as like I think they have him listed as a linebacker, but he's more like a rushing edge. So for him to have a interception in his first 8 weeks as a
Doesn't seem
NFL
too hard
star.
to pick off a running back.
Ooh, he said it. He said it. But it was also a play that they saw earlier in the game, and he learned from it. So it's actually he learned from his mistake early in the game. So it was good to see UNC Charlotte's own making a play.